Hi, welcome to Back 40 Auto Works. I'm Jeremy. My friends call me Styles. If you saw our last video, we have taken the Hudson in the shop there. There it is. Please excuse my camera work, it's not great. Anyway, it's in here now. We had to move the Buick out to get the Hudson in before the snow because, of course, with all the rust, we can't sit outside. And so that made me think, well, we got to get whatever we're going to put in it in here before winter. So the decision was made to use an old Silverado I have down in the pit. And I don't know if you can see it out here. It's dark. Anyway, there it is. You can just see bits of the light in the bumper. It's got a 5.3 in it. It's a 2004. And tomorrow night, we're going to start stripping that. I want the motor, the transmission, the column, computer, the harness, as much as I can. Ignition switch isn't fantastic. I might have to do something there. I might still use that old Chevette column, but we'll see how it goes. And next time I turn this on, we'll be tearing that old truck apart. We're going to try and set everything we can in the Hudson for now. I might take the seats out of the Hudson and maybe set the Silverado seats right in. I might even go as far as taking the hood off and setting the motor and transmission in it. Before I do that, though, I might clean the rust off the firewall, maybe get the mounts. It might be nice if that's kind of in there right off the bat. Anyway, that's the plan so far. As I strip everything out of the Silverado, it's going to go sit right in the Hudson. Maybe I'll orient things to where they want to be, run the harness just the way it is. I'm going to take everything. I'll have to get a little section of harness for the taillights because I'm missing that, but it's a donor. It's got a good motor and transmission. It's here. So that's what we're going to start with. As you can see, again, it's dark, but the old Silverado is seen better days. It's something I actually picked up for the Imperial, but I haven't gotten that far with the Imperial yet, so we'll donate or designate it for the Hudson, and perhaps we'll find an old Ram with a Hemi for the Imperial. It's a Chrysler. Probably should have a Hemi anyway. The very first thing I will probably do is nose the truck into the shop and pull the motor. The brakes are seized on the front. I'm not going to bother spending too much time trying to release them. It'll move a bit, so it does run and drive. We'll hook up the battery and probably drive the truck into the shop far enough to pull the motor, and then hook up the old Ford and drag the truck out from underneath the motor. Alternator is seized, but I do have a good starter. Power steering pump, everything's decent on it. Going to use as much of the harness as I can, possibly even the cluster in the truck. Let's see what happens. I might take that AC. I'm not really sure. But kind of the same as I'm doing with the Buick. I'm going to try and leave as much of a Silverado as possible for ease of parts. So we'll have a Camaro front end and rear end and a Silverado engine, all in one shot. My second youngest, Sierra, has wanted to help take the paint off. She's pretty anxious to do that. She's out here picking paint off it there last weekend when we put her in, scratching little messages in it. I'll allow her to do that while the paint is still garbage. Hopefully it don't become a habit. Alright, so it's the next day. Light out, which I need. So I'm going to push this Hudson back here another 6 or 7 feet, and then we're going to get the truck nosed into the door here so we can start pulling the motor and transmission out of it. Alright, so she's in far enough to pull the motor out anyway. I was trying to boost it and get it to run, but I don't have a good enough battery and can't get a good enough connection. She's got side post batteries, and I'm just trying to ground on the alternator and stuff like that, so figured, heck with it, I'll just push her in with the truck. Anyway, she's in far enough that we can start tearing her down. There are a whole lot of things here that I need to try to save. I'm, of course, going to take in the computer and the fuse box, and perhaps I can do something later on and knock that down a bit. I think we're going to try and take the battery tray and the washer bottle and pump and see if we can make that work. Every bit of wiring I can. I'm going to try and leave these big harnesses as much intact as I can, as much of them on the engine as I can without destroying anything. I'm thinking I might try and take the AC. I'm going to have to get underneath and unplug the transmission from the harness. I'm going to try and use this air box. Everything I can that I can use from the Silverado, maybe the overflow bottle, and maybe even the radiator. I don't know. That would be nice. You can see the rad there. There's the AC accumulator, but all this stuff, if I can use it all, would be great. Transmission cooler, whole works. Even the lights, harness for the lights and stuff. I'd like to be able to plug this thing into an OBD port and have it think it's an 04 Silverado. That's the plan. I'll have to put a tape on that rad. It might be too wide, but we're even going to use truck manifolds, I think. All right, so it has occurred to me, most people, when they're doing this stuff, name their projects. I haven't done that yet, but I got to thinking, well, there's got to be a half decent name for the Hudson that has something to do with its little bit of history that I know. So I thought maybe we'd call it Project Fireball, but that usually means it has to have something half decent under the hood. So I think Dave's idea of this old LS was not too bad. It'll be 300 horsepower. It should throw the old girl around pretty good. It'll be more of a hot rod it was than the day it was born. So, yeah, I think that will be all right. I'm not going to show absolutely every aspect of this. I spent probably just about 3 hours just trying to get the rad and stuff out without breaking it. I know that can be done quicker, but as I've said before, anybody watching the channel, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to be careful and prove to you that, most people can do this in the backyard by themselves. Granted, I have a shop, but it would be no different in the backyard. I don't have the skills that they have in Vice Grip Garage or the fabrication skills that they have on Bad Chad, but, we'll get there. I see this has a transmission cooler on it. I don't think I'm going to use that. I should not need to. I keep looking at things, and it takes more time because I don't want to destroy it. I can get to that motor mount now, I think. And I think we will use the big gun for that. I hate breaking things, so maybe you have to. Somebody should use that. All right, so it's the next morning. Progress out here is slow. I'm dealing with a lot of broken bolts and a lot of hidden bolts. And of course, you got to move something to move something to move something, as I said earlier. And in PEI and Eastern Canada, with a lot of salt, we get a lot of broken bolts. Slows things down quite a bit. However, this is an American truck. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's been here for a little while. I'll show you what I've gotten done so far. So most of the stuff around and near the motor is pretty well let go. Uh, I've been messing with the harness a little bit, trying to leave as much of it as I can in junks. Going to try and leave all this that you can see here attached to the engine, so I don't have to reroute all that. We'll see how that goes. Um, AC lines are all let go. We're going to try and run the AC. Rad is out, of course. I have, I don't know if you can see it. These three motor mount bolts are, two are broken and one is out. Again, as I said, broken bolts. Over here on this side, I have, if I can get in there, you can just barely see one broken motor mount, and looks like I'm gonna have to possibly move the steering column to get the other two. I might be able to get them from under there, but I'm not positive yet. I'll try. I need the steering column anyway, so I may just take that out now. I'm hoping I don't have to move the brake unit and stuff. I shouldn't, but I kind of wonder if I should take the brake unit for the Hudson. It does have one under the floor. I need the pedal assembly out of this anyway, or at least the electric pedal, because this is drive-by-wire. This is all going in like this. I didn't want to have to remove the main computer, but I did. I was hoping I may not have to flash this, but I think as soon as you remove them, you got to flash them. So we'll find all that out shortly, and we'll carry on. All right, so I did try messing around under there a little bit more, and I'm not going to be able to move that without getting this column out, so can't get those motor mount bolts at all, so we'll see what we can do with this. Maybe we'll just be able to... Not sure if I can get in here very far. I'm half in and half out of the building, so I have to move these seats for you any farther too. I need special bolts for that. But they may have to come out. Surprise me. And I'm okay with that. Taking the video anyway. Piece for William. Piece. All right. Well, we need another ratchet. Some extensions. This might be a bigger job than we need right now. Alright, let's rest it up. Come on. This might be an all-day job getting this out for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. that. That comes right out. I suspect we will need this. That, I believe, is my... That might be security module. Maybe. Alright. That's one out. This one longer, I think. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. So that's... We have to unhook that. That's got to come out of there. I'm just not sure how. So warm here today, boys. I think this might be one of those nuclear meltdown days in disguise. We'll see what happens. I got a 13, a 14, and a 15. Oh. Need the 15. Here's the 15. Should actually maybe do those fellows in the back first, maybe. Maybe get him first because he's not in a good spot. Get him. If I'm right, the only thing that should be holding us should be that knuckle. Which might be a fight as well. Might be a fight as well. But we put some heat on that if we need to. Alright, so the only thing that should be holding us up, I don't know if you can see it down in there, is that I'll point on it, but anyway, this here with the knuckle on the bottom of the steering shaft. Don't know if anybody can see that. My light is dead, so I can't get any light in there. However, we'll fight with that for a few minutes, and then I'll get calmed out. She's almost out. One steering column. Perfect. All right, hopefully that gave me access to those motor mount bolts. definitely need a little more room anyway. We'll see what happens. Brake booster might be the way. I'm hoping not. Anyway, we'll deal with the rest of the electronics later. Okay, so the last two motor mount bolts are out or busted off, so that part's free and clear. I just have to get underneath and let the transmission mount go and play with a few more sections of harness, and we should be able to pull her out of here. All right, so I think I got everything unbolted. The transmission mounts are let go. The transmission cable is pushed through the floor, ready to come out. All the motor mounts are busted off. Motor mount bolts ready to go. We're going to see what happens. I don't have a whole lot of room here, so there'll be a little bit of probably some four-letter words being said. I'll try to edit those out, but we'll see if we can get this out of here. And I got an old squeaky bat. Well, let's move it in. Making a mess too, I'm sure. She's moving. Cool. That's free. Perfect here, free. Just about. Remove that. Moving. You might have to take that plenum off. Yep. All right, so we're gonna have to take the plenum off this to get it high enough so the oil pan through the cross member. So I guess it's not coming out all in one piece like I hoped. I hoped. Anyway, get at that. without the oil pan. Oil pans are causing me a lot of trouble these last few months. What can you do? All right, to plant them off, I'm going to try it again here. That should give me enough room to lift it free of the cross member. It's been a bit of a fight for the whole thing, but we'll get there. I'm exhausted. Apologize for the way I look. It's about 28 degrees here. I'm soaked. Anyway, we'll do what we can. Should be able to clear things now. Going clear there. I hope so. How are we going to do that? Can't clear that crossman. Might have to take the crossman out of there. And one thing that's another. Guess that cross member is going to have to come out. How are we doing that now? That is not going to come out of there. I know it. So there's a cross member directly under the oil pan. The oil pan can't get high enough to clear it to come out without damage and things. So I guess I got to figure out how to get that out of there. Ain't one thing, it's another. Alright, so here's the big nasty cross member that was underneath the truck. The oil pan couldn't clear. So it's out. Hopefully, this time we'll get it out of here. Well, that's better so far. That drain for a bit. Whew. Oh. Steering's all let go. I see the ground. I think it's. What is it? What do we call it? Wolf. There we are. Better. there. If I ever get them out. Not likely. See what happens. So my exhaust is hanging a little too low where my oxygen sensors are. I think if I just take one off, it'll be all I need to get her out of there. I'm hoping. All right, see if that. Ooh. The blade's a little bit dull. She's a little smoky in here. All right, that might have helped. There we go. She's a little more free this time. All right. Certainly helped a bit. That's all we needed. Well, that much anyway. I don't know how much I'm going to pull this truck here soon. I may also need to hook her somewhere else. Coming though. She's definitely coming out. Definitely coming out. Let's see then. Here's some lines. Freer than she was. I wonder if I should hook that over there. Now, I'm going to put the jack under that truck. A different spot. Take them. I can't. Yes. There she is out of the truck. She's out. Fight. In this weather. Now I gotta get this truck again. Change my clothes and move her. All right, the biggest part of the puzzle is out. My 5.3 and 4L6CE out of an 04 Silverado for the Hudson, out and on the floor. Somebody here made one heck of a mess. I don't know who it was. Anyway, I got to get some floor drying stuff and clean up. Next 3 or 4 days, I'll be out stripping the harness. Rest the harness out of the Silverado. Maybe I'll take the radio and stuff like that. All the harness, got half the harness for the lights and stuff already. So that's a big plus. And that's going to be it for me. I know there's not much in this video. It was a lot of work. Probably spent over the span of 2 days. It did fight me quite a bit. A lot of old rusted seized bolts I ended up breaking off. And as I said before, this stuff was never that easy. But if I can do it, you guys can do it. I'm learning just like everybody else is here. So now, to recap, the Hudson has a 5.3 and 4L6E for it on the floor here. Going to pull the rest of the harness out of that truck, as I said a few minutes ago. Anything else that I can think of? I did end up busting some transmission lines and stuff, but they were kind of soft anyway. I half expected that to happen, and it did. So that's going to be the end of this video. Thanks everybody for watching, and please subscribe. The more subscriptions I get, the longer I can stay at this. Thanks.